Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. You are tuning in to weekly live Q&A with Align with Alison. That would be me. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. And I just realized I did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So we're going to see how far we get through this, because if not, I'm going to have to end the live, and I don't feel like doing that. So let's see how far we go. All right, beautiful people, let us jump right in. How does this beautiful thing work? So on Tuesday through Wednesday, I post this story, which gives you the opportunity for you to drop your questions in the box, and I answer it for absolutely free. That is how you can have access to me without paying $1. However, if you would like to have one-on-one access, if you want exclusive time with you and I, you can book a single session. I also offer full length coaching programs for those who are looking for a committed relationship and have been struggling in the dating scene for X amount of time. But let's jump in, because as I said, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and one of my friends is going to forget, and they're going to call me, and then this is going to get cut off, which is really ridiculous, because I've seen other people get phone calls when they're on live and they don't have the same problem that I have. I don't get it. Whatever. All right, beautiful people, let us jump right into this thing. So, question I received is, how do I move on from being ghosted? It's been a minute and still trying to figure, I assume, it out. Okay. So how do I move on from being ghosted? All right, beautiful people. Again, time is of the essence. So if you are new to my page, you may not know that I have free trainings and free ebooks. All you have to do is click the link in my bio in order to get access to it, right? And the particular training that I have is called From Breakup to Boot Up. And it breaks down a 5-step approach on how to move on from a relationship that does not serve you. So I don't want to get into the full length of it, because all you have to do is click the link in my bio and watch that training. I also have a free ebook that's called Move On Sis. It's not only for women, but 80% of my audience is female, so it's going to be Move On Sis. You can also download that free ebook, and that is going to give you guidance and support in regards to how to move on from a relationship that doesn't serve you. I'm going to give you one quick of the 5, just so you can get something out of this immediately. However, what you need to do is really put some effort into reaching out and getting the resources you need in order to be able to move on, okay? Oh, I forgot to welcome anybody who's new. If you are new to my page, if this is the first time you've seen me go live, then I want to welcome you to what I call the land of love. That is what I call my online community here. So please let us know your name and where you are from so that we can welcome you appropriately. All right? My bad. So again, move on. How? You can watch the free training by clicking the link in my bio. You can also download the free ebook, whichever resource. It's the same 5 steps in just a different way. If you enjoy hearing and you learn better that way, in an oratory way versus reading, do what you need to do. But the number one thing that I highly recommend for folks that they normally don't listen to, the number one thing I recommend for moving on is that you have to cut this person off. It is over. Hello, Delicia from Las Vegas. It is over. The relationship is over. So that means that this person has to be cut off 100%. No, y'all can't be friends. No, y'all can't still sleep together. No, you can't watch his dog when he's on vacation. No, you can't take her mother to the hospital, or not the hospital, but you know what I'm saying, like the clinic for her 2 or weekly appointments. Like, it's over, it's over, it's over. Hello, Aurora from Trinidad. Welcome. Hello, Precious from Chicago. I appreciate you joining. Thank you for joining us here for weekly Q&A. So again, you get the full answer by clicking the link in my bio. Free training that's about an hour. Free ebook that you can read. But quickly, you need to cut everybody off. Cut them off and cut everyone else off that's a part of that family, right? Yes, they said that they were ghosted. So, but I don't know if that means that that person might have ghosted them. That doesn't mean that everyone else who's in that community or that family may have ghosted them. I don't know. But everyone is done. Like, it's not only that individual, but it's also going to be anyone who they're related to, any friends. You're not checking in. Oh, how's Daryl? I haven't heard from him in a while. Nope. That's a dub. Everybody's gone. They ghosted you. You ghosting all of them. Okay? Next question. Good guy, 30, has a son, lives with parents to work on future. Should I run Am I judgmental? Good guy, 30, has a son, lives with parents to work on future. Should I run? Am I judgmental? Okay, so let's take apart the pieces. Welcome, I'm going to 2780. I'm just going to call you that from Canada. Thank you for joining. All right. Let's take this apart. Excuse me. The fact that he lives with his parents, but he's working on the future is enough for me. That's enough for me. And we had this conversation last week if you were here for live Q&A. Culturally, what I find is that a lot of folks in certain communities are, what I would find is quick to dismiss someone or kick them out of, like a parent is quick to kick their children out of the home, even if they're not prepared to do so, even if they didn't prepare their child. Let's be honest. If they didn't prepare their child to be alone or be out of the home, right? So I am not a proponent. I am not a believer that someone's 18 or someone's 21 or someone's 24, and then as a result, they should be out of their parents' home. I believe it's the responsibility of the parent to prepare that child, that now adult child, and that preparation may include living at home with me as they have a solid, clear plan of exit. If they are saving because I know that they're going to put down on a condo or a house or what have you, then I don't have a problem with an adult child staying in the home. And especially, Mary Ray Roxy, who says you live in New York, it's not easy for you to navigate that. It's not practical. Like, you're not going to make the amount of money that you need to make in order to have a decent living situation. And decent is a stretch in New York City. Okay? So if you believe that he's living at home and he's working on his future, then that would be enough for me to not be concerned. If he has a solid plan of action at 30, living at home with his parents, that I'm not concerned. I actually think that's commendable. I'm glad that he has a plan of action. And then by the time he exits, based on the timeline he shared with you, and you feel comfortable with that, then he's going to have his own and not be paying somebody else's mortgage. Okay? Okay, so I don't have a problem with that. Has a son. You as an individual have to decide whether or not you're willing to date someone with a child, children, or what have you. I can't answer that question for you. You have to decide as an individual what you are willing to, and for lack of a better term, tolerate, what you're willing to accept, if you're willing to date someone with a child or children. That's up to you. That is an individual person's choice. What I will say is one of the bigger issues in that, I think, is that there's a lot of conversation around, I would date someone with no children, I date someone with one child, I date someone with 2 children, and there's no conversation about the relationship that they have with the other parent. Like, I am more concerned about the relationship that you have with the other parent than I am with the exact number of children one may have. What do I mean by this? So you may think the closer to 0, the better, right? The average person would think the closer to 0, especially if you don't have children yourself, the closer to 0 that your potential partner has, the better, right? That's the general consensus. The more children, the more financial, Now, I would value a relationship, or I would consider a relationship with someone who had 2 children with a woman that he had a great relationship with over a man who had 1 child and has a poor relationship with the mom. I think that we're taking away, like, we're adding up how many children and we're not taking into consideration what the relationship looks like. I'm more concerned about the relationship with this woman than I am about the exact number. Now, yes, if it's going to be 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, like, that's just outrageous. I'm not doing it. You're irresponsible. Like, you just throwing it around to any old body all the time. Like, that's different, right? Assuming this is more than 1 mom. But I'm more concerned about the relationship you have with this woman. I'm more concerned about where her mind is. Is she an accepting, warm person? Is she healed from this breakup? Has she moved on? Even better. But nonetheless, you have to decide as an individual how many, if any, children you will accept. So I can't answer that for you, right? But what I do want to get into is that the fact that you say he's a good man. He's a good man. He has a plan. I don't really see why we need to run. Again, you decide how many children, if any, is appropriate. Yeah, good question. How old is the baby? I don't know, right? And this is why you need to click the link in my bio, and then you could book a 30-minute session and we can talk all about the different variables that might impact my answer. This is only based on what I can see in the question that was submitted. This does not seem like a run thing for me, especially the part about him living at home as he works on a future that you agreed to seems like a solid plan. Okay? So would I run? Are you being judgmental? I would not run. You may be being judgmental. May. Okay? All right. Been conversing with a guy for a few months, 2 different states. He wants me to come see him. Okay. I'm assuming that you knew that he lived in a different state when y'all started talking. Me being presumptuous, right? Limited characters. So that means at some point somebody was going to have to go see somebody. That's a given, I would assume. So what's the issue at hand? Is it that you don't want to pay to go see him? Gas money, if you could drive? Like, I don't see what the issue is. This is why I am not a proponent. All right, see, Tiff, she wants to know who should pay for the ticket. That, like, right, if that's, See, this is why I tell y'all, you need to make it fit in a box. If it can't fit in a box, that means there's too much context and you need to book a session. I clicked over and she violated the rules, which we will make an exception today. And she has a second part. Who should pay for the ticket? Tiffany, it sounds like you're the one who asked this question. All right. So this is why I'm going to go back to, this is why I am not a proponent of starting long distance relationships. I don't think that it's a good idea. I think that it causes too much confusion. I think it causes too much conflict. There are enough people in your relative area that you can date that we don't need to be starting relationships long distance. Now, it's one thing that if you're dating a gentleman is dating someone and opportunity arises. They always dream of joining the military. Now they want to go there. They have a job opportunity that's amazing. They're going to go work for Google. And you're already in the relationship, so you're going to figure out how you're going to navigate this, right? That's one thing. It's something else to purposefully choose a long distance relationship. I am not a proponent. And this is the beginning of the complications. This ain't even that bad, right? If I'm going to go with, this is what I'm going to go with. Once, assuming that you feel safe to go, assuming you feel safe, I'm going to treat this trip like I would treat a date. I'm going to treat the trip like I would treat a date. And the way that I treat dates and what I've shared in the past is that I feel like whoever asks is the person who should pay. So if a gentleman asks me to go on a date, then my expectation is that he's going to pay for said date. Now I'm going to have my wallet. I'm going to have my cards. I'm not going to order more than what I can afford. I am going to be mindful of where we go just in case he decides to wild out and buy a rack of lambs and all kind of crazy stuff, right? And then he decides to skip out on me. I'm going to be prepared. However, that's always been my stance. Whoever asks for the date should be paying for the date. So if this gentleman, so to take that piece of logic and apply it to this situation, if this gentleman asks you to come and see him in his state, then just like I would apply the logic to the date, my expectation is that he should be paying for the flight, for the rental, for the gas, for the whatever. Now, I will say this, and y'all might not like it. I will say this, and you might not like it. I am not a proponent of traveling with anyone that I am not prepared to sleep with. I am not a proponent of traveling with any member of the opposite sex or someone. I'm not, obviously not my friends, like female friends, right? And obviously not Mimi. But you get my point. Like, I am not going to travel with anyone who is a member of the opposite sex I'm attracted to unless I am prepared to sleep with them, even if I'm traveling to their home. And I'm going to tell you why. I think that you are setting yourself up, especially if they paid. I feel like you're setting yourself up for a very awkward situation when you have two people who are clearly attracted to each other who are sleeping in the same bed. I would also argue, and y'all also might not like this, I'm also not a proponent of going over to people's houses too much, right? Like, I would even hold back on that. There's no expectation of sex, but I just don't want any kind of mixed signal. So I'm not doing it, period, right? Well, again, I'm not doing it, but you know what I'm saying? If I was single moving forward, I wouldn't do it. And I'm definitely not traveling, and he's spending money on that travel. There's going to be an attached expectation under normal circumstances. Now, I do see some people talking about communication, and I get that. But I'm big on communication. At the same time, I don't want to set myself up for awkwardness. I don't want to set myself up for failure. And then there's sometimes like, maybe it's not even worth having the combo if I can avoid it altogether. So again, for me, para mí, I am not traveling with a gentleman who I'm potentially attracted to, especially if he's paying for it, unless I have the idea that I might potentially sleep with this guy. Yes, she could book her own hotel, but she's specifically asking who should pay, which means I get the impression that she don't want to pay. That's the impression. She don't want to pay. And I'm also going to get the impression, and I'll say this, that if he was interested in paying, he would have said that. He would have said, hey, Alison, all this convo's been all great, but I really want to see you face to face. Are you available on the weekend of? You available Easter weekend? You available Memorial weekend? You available da-da-da-da-da? Alison says yes or no, depending on what I'm prepared to do, again, because that's me. And then if the answer is yes, then he would say, okay, send me a picture of your ID. Send me your blah, blah, blah. Go find the flight. Let me know how much it costs. I feel like that's a natural part of the conversation. When you're planning a trip with anybody, right? Like, you're planning a trip with someone, you say, this is where we're going to go. This is when we're going to go. So usually it's like the location, the time, and then whatever the accommodations are going to be. Like, that's a part of the natural conversation. So the fact that he didn't offer it is giving me the impression that he does not intend to pay. You can ask, you can talk. I'm not crazy about this. To me, I'm going to find somebody who's in my city. That way I can avoid situations like this. I know that was a mouthful, but just wanted to share. Okay. Yes, your husband bought a badge. Yes. I assume that means he agrees. And I assume that means he's trying to tell y'all that I'm spitting. So maybe you should purchase a badge too. No pressure. All right. Let's move on. I saw this question. I've been thinking about it since I saw it. It says, if I'm such the total package, why are all of my relationships ending in abuse and I'm single? If I'm such the total package, why are all of my relationships ending in abuse and I'm single? Okay, so then my first question is, and this is no disrespect, this is the way that I function. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. I am an absolutely reasonable and logical person. And so all I do is look at the question that is presented to me, and I try to break it down in a way that's logical and reasonable so I can give you a response of what I would do in those circumstances. So this is not disrespect. If I'm such a total package, why are all of my relationships ending in abuse and single? Who said you were the total package? Right? Like, is this your personal belief? Like, do you believe that you're the total package? Have people said that to you? Like, have men said to you, and me being presumptuous, I'm sorry, people, I don't know. This is a woman asking. Have people said to you, you know what, you're a total package, you're amazing, it's me? Like, where are we getting this idea of you are a total package? All right, so that's my first question. Why did we come to this conclusion that you are this total package? Who said that? Secondly, what is a total package? So what do you think that you have that makes you this total package? Or what do these potential ex-partners say that you have that make you this total package? I need more deets. Okay? I don't know if anyone is the total package, because each package is going to be appropriate for the person who is opening said package, right? Like, I am the, and I wasn't going to say I am the total package. I'm a really good package, right? I'm an amazing package for Andrew. If I landed on somebody else's porch, they might think I'm a terrible package and then take me right up, put a label on me and take me to UPS. Like, I don't know what we mean by this, right? So who told you that? How do you define it? do you actually believe it? Right? If you're such a total package. Let's go with that. Wrong address. Then, why are all of my relationships ending in abuse? So, I had this conversation on Sunday with my good friend Shirley, who I think either just texted me or joined the live. I saw her name just on my phone. I have no idea, right? We need to stop catastrophizing stuff. I don't know if that's a real word, but you're going to flow with me. Are all of your relationships ending in abuse? I work with kids. You guys know that I'm a counselor by day, right? She always picking on me. He always. The teacher always. You never listen. They always picking on you? Always. So from 8 o'clock to 2:19 when you pick up your cell phone to go home, they're always picking on you. We need to be practical, right? Are all of your relationships ending in abuse? All of them? And if so, then there needs to be some reflection that's done about why you keep choosing the types of people. I know you don't like this. And I know you guys think that this is Alison victim blaming. But yes, we make selections. We make selections. And folks in the comments are asking what type of abuse, so on and so forth. Bougie Badass, this is how it works. So, thank you for the commercial break. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, I post the same green story with me, like, I'm thinking, right? And it gives you opportunity to drop your question here. This is how you submit the questions every week, all right? I try to get through as many as I can. I have the session in 31 minutes, and I probably am going to try to pee before then. So, okay? Oh, yeah, Shirley was texting me. But we had this conversation about, and for lack of a better term, are we being dramatic? Is it every relationship? What is abuse? And why do you keep selecting these people? Now, we could pretend like every single potential partner in your city is abusive and so you don't have a choice, but that would be a lie to me and you and everybody else who's on this live right now. So we're definitely making choices. So then now I think the conversation needs to be, how can we improve our discernment? How do we make better choices? Why were we making, and this is a good one. This goes beyond coach, right? This goes to clinician. This goes to therapist. Why did I make these choices in the past so that I can make better choices in the future, right? And then now that you know the why, after you've done that work with a professional, now it's going to be, Alison, I'm ready. Let's take the next step, or anybody else that you choose. So this is some more depth that's beyond my skills, like my skill set. This is going to be therapist. Why do I keep choosing poorly? Because it cannot be that every single potential mate who is in your age range are all abusive human beings in your city. Cannot be. It just cannot be. Cannot be. That means you're making some poor choices. So that means that there needs to be some work that's done in order to rectify those behaviors. And I hope that makes sense. And I hope that's more helpful than hurtful, but I'm only trying to help. Okay? Oh, the person who asked is responding. I don't see any responses. Define abuse. Oh, okay. I'm stepping forward. It was my question. People in all aspects of life. He has told me that career, business, community service. Okay. So, right. But they don't know every aspect of you. Right? So the people on my job, even different people on my day job don't know all aspects of me. I would say 2, maybe 3 of my colleagues know Alison. The rest of them know Miss Wellington, who I present to them, right? So they're not in a position to tell you about being, and thank you for being responsive. They're not in a position to tell you that you're a complete package, a total package. You have to decide what that looks like for you. What do you desire? What do you want to be? How do you want to present? And then do that work accordingly. And then goes the second part, which is the why we're choosing that way, and then doing the work to figure out why we're making those choices. And I hope that makes sense. Okay? Next. Someone says, what's your skincare routine? Soap and water. Soap, water, and DNA. That's it. I do have, and y'all gonna kill me. Esthetician that I'm going to for the first time tomorrow, because it's a friend who transitioned and I want to be supportive. But other than that, soap and water and genetics. Okay, let's move on. I met a man who has gay tendencies. how do I know if he's straight? I met a man who has gay tendencies. How do I know if he's straight? Y'all also may not like this answer. I'm going to give y'all a second to catch up on this one because, there's like a 15-second delay. I met a man who has gay tendencies. How do I know if he's straight? Okay, so J House says ask. I get it. Shemaya says ask. I get it. Unfortunately wants to know what are the gay tendencies, right? And again, limited characters, and it's limited characters for a reason. If you want full context, you click the link in my bio, you book a one-on-one session. Some people say test him. What are gay tendencies? The thing is that they have limited context because the characters only are limited in the box. If they need more, then they need to pay for it, right? All right, so y'all might not like my response. Depending on what you're attracted to, if you are attracted to men who exhibit what society has labeled as more quote unquote masculine characteristics, he's a man's man or whatever that might look like for you. If you are attracted to that and he does not reflect that, then that's the end of the conversation. Like, I'm not testing, I'm not digging, I'm not questioning, hoping, and praying. If these supposed gay tendencies are unattractive to you, then that's the end of the conversation and we need to move on accordingly, right? If it's not bothersome, right? If whatever these gay tendencies are that you say, a walk, a talk, or whatever, I don't know what this looks like. If it's not bothersome to you, then you can ask and you can continue to date the gentleman. But if you are looking for a man who quote unquote presents as masculine, whatever that might look like for you, however society may have deemed it, then that's the end of the combo. I'm not digging. I got people that said test him. How? I'm gonna find a sexy male decoy like it's the Maury show, like it's a dub. It's a dub. And that's my Brooklyn answer for you. Okay? Next question. Ask X about restarting a relationship. He wants to process the idea. Is that a yes or a no? Ask X about restarting a relationship. He wants to process the idea. Is that a yes or a no? So if you've heard me speak before about yeses and nos, what I always say is that if it's not an emphatic yes, the answer is a no. Similar to when we were kids and we would ask our parents, Mommy, Daddy, can I go to the party? And they'll say, we'll see. The answer is no. Maybe. The answer is no. Ask your father. The answer is no. Sometimes our parents will tell us yes, and then the night of the party, they're like, what party? Are you kidding me? Everybody's going to be there. I got these new Guess jeans. The answer is no. If it's not an emphatic yes when it comes to your relationship, then the answer is no. I would allow him to process. He could process all he wants to as you begin your process of healing from this relationship and then beginning to date accordingly. That's what you're going to do. The answer is no. Okay? But don't press that man. He has a good reason, potentially. I don't know what it is, but he has his reasons and everything happens for a reason. So if the answer is no, that means it's not meant to be. If you were the one who went wrong, so to speak, in this relationship and you're the one who ruined it, you've now learned your lesson and you're not going to move the way you used to move, right? You're going to do better in your future relationships. If he did you wrong, if y'all did you wrong, it was a learning experience. Move on accordingly. Click the link in my bio. You can download the free training from Breakup to Boot Up or the free ebook, Move On Sis, if you need help moving on. Okay? What are things that I can work on when I'm ready to date again in terms of vetting? All right. So this one is also answered at length, like an hour and 15 minutes. If you click the link in my bio and you go to the free training, The Partner You Deserve, I talk about vetting. And then I have a masterclass, Dating 101 is $37. Click the link in my bio, button number 5. I don't know. Then I talk about vetting for 3 hours, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Okay. So we talk all about this. So the quick answer is, how do you vet? The way that you vet, you first, before starting to date, you have to be super clear on what you're looking for out of a partner and a partnership. I love you too, Leah. Out of a partner and a partnership. Okay? We need to be super clear on what I want. I like to equate this to, I would not get in my car and drive to a location I've never been to before without putting it in my GPS, right? Like, I need to be clear as to where I'm going before I pull off. I'm not driving around in circles burning gas. I'm not going to drive and on the highway, get off at the wrong exit. I'm not going to end up in an unsavory neighborhood. I need to have a clear vision as to where I'm going before I get in the vehicle. So to answer the question, V Fashion, what is vetting? It's when you, and it's a textbook definition, you can Google it. It's the way that you figure out whether or not something is appropriate or correct. It's how you vet, right? It's like a background check in a way. So how do you vet? The first thing you're going to do is get clear on exactly what you're looking for out of a partner. I want my partner to have this, and this. I tell my clients in my coaching program that they have to have 5 to 6 non-negotiables. Those are the behaviors and traits that their partner must at least seemingly have, because dating is a process. Dating is data. We're collecting information over time, right? So what they must seemingly have for you to be interested in them. You have to decide what those behaviors and traits look like for you. It's going to vary from person to person. What I'm looking for and what you're looking for and what he's looking for and what she's looking for, it's going to vary based on the person's experiences, right? And their values and their goals and their morals and blah, blah, blah. Cool. So first you get clear on exactly what you're looking for in a mate. Then you're going to take those behaviors, those goals, those desires, what you want out of the partnership, and you're going to create a series of questions so that you can figure out whether or not this person has those things. So I'm going to give you an example. So if it's very important to me that my partner is hardworking, so I made my list of non-negotiables back in 2012. And the reason why I wrote my list is because I was complaining about a guy that I was seeing at the time to an older male married coworker who had some time in the game. And he said, well, Alison, what are you looking for? And I said, ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. If I'm complaining about something, then that means I should have a clear vision as to what I really want it to look like, right? So I grabbed a sheet of loose leaf paper and a pencil, and I wrote, actually still have it in my phone, a picture of it. I wrote down 5 behaviors and traits of what I wanted in a partner. So one of those things is hardworking, okay? So that's one of mine. It don't have to be yours. Yours is yours. Mine is mine. You can have mine. I don't care. It's hardworking. So that means I would not date a man unless he was seemingly a hard-working man. I'm a West Indian woman. I work mad hard. You got to work hard too. Okay? So what does that mean? So that means if I were to have a conversation with a guy, I'm going to ask him, what does he do for a living? I'm going to ask him, how many hours? What does the schedule look like? I'm going to ask him, is that fulfilling? Are you looking to do something else? Do you intend on retiring from this job? Do you have any entrepreneurial goals? Do you see yourself doing other things? If he tells me that he's a 35-year-old battle rapper, that is not my definition of hardworking, right? And that's all he does. He don't have no 9 to 5. He's a 35-year-old battle rapper. That's not my definition of hardworking. If he tells me that he gets gigs here and there, that's not my definition of hardworking. So again, in order to improve your ability to discern or to vet, to ask the right questions, you first need to be clear on what you're looking for from a partner in a partnership first, right? Like you need that before you even meet a guy or a girl. Then you're going to ask questions around those so that you can assess whether or not that person at least seemingly is fitting the mark. Emphasis on seemingly. Don't say, well, Alison, you said ask and I asked and he answered and that was the end of that. No, there should be a constant assessment over time. What I also tell my clients is that when you are in school, right? Everything is school. When you are in school, you don't just graduate with a high school diploma after taking one set of tests, right? In New York, it's called the Regents exams. You don't take your Regents exams in your senior year, 12th grade, and just graduate. You were in pre-K and K and first grade. You had a spelling test. You had a quiz. You had the state exams. Back in my day, it was a citywide test, right? In 3rd grade, in 4th grade, in 5th grade, you were constantly being assessed. You had your due now. You had an exit ticket. You had a take-home test. The teacher came around and checked your classwork sometimes and put that as a grade. You had essays. You had dioramas. The teachers were constantly assessing your growth and learning over time before you got to your high school diploma. This is the same thing with dating. You should be constantly assessing over time. Yes, I'm old, Roxy. Citywide test. I was like the 93rd percentile child, right? Like you should be constantly assessing over time whether or not this person is seemingly the person that you're looking for. They seemingly have the behaviors and the traits that you're looking for over time. I'm not going to ask one question, check it off my list, he's good. No, I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask in a different way. I'm going to observe behaviors, and he should be doing the same thing with me. This is not a one-way street. If the person that you're seeing doesn't have a clear vision as to what they want out of a partner in a partnership, then this might be a hot mess express too. If they're not holding you to a particular standard, and I'm saying you because 79% of my audience is female, so I'm talking to you, and many times we have in our minds that we're the only ones who have standards and expectations, and how dare they can want what they want too. And if it's not in alignment with who you are, what you have to offer, then okay. Just like sometimes they don't be in alignment with what we want to, and it's okay. And rejection is okay. We reject men 24/7. When I used to ride the train, I don't ride the train no more. When I used to ride the train, if I rejected 10 men in a day, I'd be surprised. When I was in a dollar van, taking the dollar van down Utica, or taking the dollar van down Church Avenue to the 2 train to get to Brooklyn College, if I rejected 15 men in a day, I'd be surprised. They get rejected, you're going to be all right too. Rejection is sometimes protection. I'm getting off point, y'all. And I got 17 minutes. My point is, we should be assessing each other over time. Each other. Over time. That's my very terrible French accent. Over time. Gathering the data, constantly doing assessments, using our friends and our loved ones to help with said assessments. Yo, bro, what you think? Ma, do you like her? Because if you are dating with intention and you're serious about meeting someone that you want to be committed to for the rest of your life, you can't fly by the seat of your pants. This is your life. The partner that you choose is going to dictate your lifestyle. Emphasis on the prefix, the life. Okay? So where I live, the car that I drive, my daily, weekly, monthly, yearly experiences, where we eat, what we eat, my health, my mental health in part, my emotional health in part, right? How many children we have? Do we have any children? How them children functioning? Are they smart? They dumb? They slow? Right? This is the most important decision you make in your life. This should not be something that's fly by night. This should be something that takes work and effort. And this idea that love should just fall into your lap and relationships should just happen, it doesn't work like that. And it shouldn't work like that. I would hate for randomness to decide who my husband was. I would hate for that. Oh, the luck of the draw. It's not the luck of the draw. It's the choices that we make. It's the choice that we make to go outside and socialize. It's the choice that we make to go on dating apps or not. It's the choice that we make to keep going back to exes knowing we have no business with them, right? These are choices that we make over time. And thank God that God has given me the autonomy to make those choices. Because if it was fly by night, willy-nilly, somebody I just bounce up to in the street and I drop my iPad and he picks it up and we fall in love, that would suck if I didn't have that level of choice. So this idea that, it should be so easy and why is it so hard and why should I have to hire a coach? Yeah, because you need a fitness coach too. Because your health is important, right? You need a financial coach too because your finances are important. So it's this idea of things should just fall into your lap. When does anything just fall? I don't know. I wasn't born with a silver spoon, right? I was going to say I wasn't born in Bel Air, but if you watch the show Bel Air, they got their problems too. So everything that I've ever done in my entire life has been maximum effort. Every degree has been maximum effort. Every job has been This live is maximum effort. My tummy hurts. I started the live burping. I hope y'all didn't hear that on the screen. Everything is maximum effort. I have a session after this. Maximum effort. My husband and I have a business together. After my session after this, we're going to be working on that project. Maximum effort. It never ends. So why would the degrees and the job and the this and the that and the lifestyle, why would all of those be effort? But the person you're going to live with for the rest of your life that is going to help dictate what your life looks like until you end that relationship and start another one with someone else if you choose to, why would that be something that just happens? Why would you want it to be something that just happens? Okay? At 13 minutes. I get hit on by a lot of married men. Is it something I'm doing to attract this? You may just be in the wrong places. Where are you going? See, there it goes. I get hit on a lot by married men. Excuse me. Sorry, that's a savage. Is it something I'm doing to attract this? It may not be anything that you're doing. You just might be in the wrong places. Like, where are you going to socialize? That might be the issue at hand. Are you asking clear questions from the beginning to assess whether or not this person at least is seemingly in a relationship? Right? Seemingly. Where the single resides. The singles reside right where the marrieds reside. They're in the same places. Except for some circumstances. So a place that you're going to find more married people than single people probably is going to be in your church. You're going to find more married couples because churches and religion tends to value marriage, right? Schools are a mixed bag. I would just be mindful of asking questions early in the game. But I don't think there's anything that you're doing in particular to attract married men, but make sure that you ask them early and often and you pay attention to their behaviors. Do they only text you at night? Do they only call you at night? Do they only, or on their drive in or in the office and never at home? Like, just pay attention to those behaviors. But I don't think there's anything that you're doing in particular. Okay? Question: what are the top 5 dating apps for potential long-term relationships? I answered this question in my highlights. You click the link in my bio, you go to, is it FAQs? You go to FAQ and I answered this question because there's no straight answer. The answer depends on where you live, your age, your demographic, the demographic of the person that you're seeing, okay? So that's not an easy answer. Like, there's no straight answer for you. I answered that question for my clients because I know their age, I know what they're looking for, I know where they live, and so I'm able to do the research on their behalf. But you as an individual, I wouldn't be able to answer that question like this, okay? It's all right, Tiff. They knew, girl. They knew. Ladies, so they ain't only asked me, they asked y'all. Ladies, or y'all who are female on here, would you propose to a man you have been with 3 or more years because you think he's taking too long? Ladies, would you propose to a man you have been with 3 or more years because you think he's taking too long? So, Hoisha says no. Amaria says no. Jay says hell no. Brittany says no. Shamaya says no. Kimberly says no. Tiffany said no. Maria said never. Peach said boo. V Fashion said no. Somebody said WTF. Danielle said no. So I guess we got that answer right there. Do guys take women over 35 seriously? Some say dating is really bad for women over 35. Yes. Do guys take women over 35 seriously? Some say dating is really bad for women over 35. So yes, they take them seriously. It's not an issue of being taken seriously. It's an issue of a shrinking dating pool. A shrinking dating pool. And this is practicality, right? The older you are on the dating scene, the less there are people that are available to you in said pool, right? So that means the older you are, that means there's going to be more people who are married. That means less people in the pool. There are going to be more people who have more children. And if that's an issue for you, there's going to be less people in the pool. There are going to be more people who are in jail. There's going to be less people in the pool. More people who are unavailable to you. So dating is more difficult for those as they get older because you have less options. That's just like stats. I didn't take stats in high school, but you get my point, right? Like, yes, that statistically, the older you are, the less options you're going to have, right? But about this idea of them not taking women who are over 35 seriously, I would beg to differ. I would say it's the exact opposite. I would say that the older the gentleman and the older the woman, then the more likely that relationship will be serious versus younger men for sure and younger women. So no, it's not about taking seriously, but are your options going to be limited compared to 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Yes, which is why I'm very surprised. A lot of my clients are 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And not that it's too late for people who are 35 plus. I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 this year, right? But yeah, if you want to get serious, the time is now. I don't care how old. You could be 39, you could be 45 watching this live. Do not wait until tomorrow. Even if I'm not the person that you choose to work with, do not wait until tomorrow. Every day that passes, yes, the pool will diminish. Now, some new people will jump back into the pool for sure. Some new people are going to jump back into the pool because of divorce, whatever, what have you. But it's not going to be at the same rate of marriage. And it's not going to be at the same rate of healing, right? So Black Boy Joy asks, how much do your services cost? So it ranges in price from $0 if you download a free ebook, free training. I have masterclasses that are $35 or $37, I think it is, up until the thousands. So it depends on the service that you need, okay? This is what I do for a living. Okay, I think I have time for one more. Dating 4 months, and all he has said is he wants to get to something serious with me. Okay, I mean, Hoisha says, get me out this pool. I can help you get out the pool, girl. You gotta click the link in my bio and then book a 15-minute consult. Let's talk about how I can help you get out the pool. Dating 4 months, and all he has said is that he wants to get to something serious with me. Okay, he wants to get to something serious. So what's the question, babes? Like, he wants to get there, but something's holding him back. He wants to get there. There's a but. Like, what's the issue here? Maybe you guys can help me. I see Britt B has a red flag. Can you help me? Because I don't understand. I'm missing something. Dating 4 months. Yes, I can help gentlemen get out of the pool. I help singles. My name is Alison. I work with singles to help them find the partner that they deserve. Yes, okay? Dating 4 months, and all he has said is he wants to get to something serious with me. But I don't understand the question here. 4 months to me seems like an appropriate amount of time for someone to decide that they want to commit. Is it that Ty Baby says, is it that he's not specific enough? I need more context, girlfriend. So I'm going to let you DM me, and I'm going to respond to your DM for free because I don't understand the question. Everybody else, this is what you got to do. You can either wait until next Wednesday for live Q&A. You look for this green story. I post Tuesday and through Wednesday, and you could drop the question below. Or you could click the link in my bio. You could book a single session. All you need is 30 minutes. I have an hour. You don't need no hour. We don't need no hour. You know how I function. So 30 minutes, and then we could get down to the issues behind whatever you're facing. It could be in a relationship, out of a relationship. It could be about friends, family, what have you. But I am here to support you. If you are looking to get out of this dating pool expeditiously, and you want the support of someone who has the receipts to prove, check my stories. Check my stories today. When we're done, check my stories today. I want you to then check my testimonials. Look at my highlights and see, this is what I do. I help people to get out of the dating pool as quickly as humanly possible to be matched to the partner that they deserve so they can attain the goals that they have for their lives. You're going to click the link in my bio and book that 15-minute consultation call to talk about the coaching program. It is a significant investment. It sure is. Because again, when y'all was talking preach, when I was preaching to say that this is the most important decision that you can make is who you are going to potentially marry, right? Then that means you're going to pay the cost to be the boss. And you're going to thank me. And you're going to say the same thing that my clients always say, which is you are worth every penny. And some of my contemporaries who say, Alison, you should be charging more. Okay? So go ahead and take action. Click the link in my bio. Check out the free stuff. Vet me. Like I tell you to vet these guys and vet these girls. Vet me. Check out the free stuff. And if you decide that I am the person for you, you're then going to book that 15-minute consult call. Let's talk about how I can help you find the partner you deserve. I'm going to go ahead and save this live really quickly. Thank you for those who purchased the badge. I forgot to thank you earlier. Infinite Soul, Japa Black, Amaria, hope I got that right, Kima, Brit B, V Fashion, and Bougie Badass. All right, beautiful people. I have a session in 4 seconds, and I need to breathe. Have a good one. This will be saved. Share it with a friend. Have a good night. Bye.